Kia ora, my name's Adrian Sutherland. I've got a Facebook and Instagram page called the 1 Minute Gardener, or 1 Minute Gardening actually. So today I'm just going to give you a brief rundown on what my understanding of maramataka and gardening by the lunar calendar. The monthly moon cycle, there's 4 phases. So the first one is the new moon, and then that lasts for about a week. And then the second one is the first quarter, and then that lasts for about a week again, and then we get into the full moon. And then from the full moon, there's another week. It goes out to the last quarter, and then from the last quarter back to the new moon. So that's the complete lunar month. In the new moon phase of the lunar cycle, that's a good time to be planting out some leafy greens, some above the surface crops. You know, your normal stuff like here, like your silver beets, spinach, broccoli, cabbages, you know, all those kind of things. Because as the moon is growing in the sky, well, not the actual moon, but the illuminated part that we see, its gravitational energy is also increasing. So what that does is, you may notice in the ocean tides, things like that, it affects the tides. Well, another thing it affects, it's the rate of sap flow in plants and trees. So during those 2 weeks of the new moon, out towards the full moon, which is 2 weeks later, that gravitational energy assists plants and trees to absorb moisture and nutrients up out of the soil. So that's why it's a good time to be planting leafy green vegetables, because as they become more and more established over that couple of weeks, they can benefit from the moon's gravitational energy as it draws up moisture out of the Earth's water table. Well, obviously the plants that are here sitting like this, they get to benefit from that drawing up of the moisture and nutrients also. So then, and then once it turns to a full moon, well, then the moon's gravitational pull upwards starts to diminish, and then it's more, and it kind of turns around and heads back down into the soil. So then it's considered a good time for paying attention to root crops. So your potatoes, kumaras, carrots, Swedes, all those kind of things, because now as the moon's energy is decreasing and the gravitational energy is more directed downwards, root crops benefit more from watering on the surface, and any liquid fertilizer that you may apply on the surface, well, then that can now kind of go down and help be a benefit to root crops. So that's basically the four phases of the lunar cycle. So if you garden with those things in mind, it's helpful, though it's not absolutely necessary, because it's a combination of factors. So and some other things are planting in the sunlight, so and planting in the appropriate season. So now that we're heading into we're in spring and into summer, the more heat-loving vegetables, your tomatoes, chili peppers, capsicums and things like that, they will benefit from planting according to the lunar cycle, you know, above surface vegetables, so in the new moon to full moon phase. But you wouldn't do that in the middle of winter, regardless of the new moon phase, regardless of the lunar calendar, because they need warmth and sunlight. So a couple of things is you can combine the lunar calendar with the seasons, so that together you can give your plants a little bit more of a chance of survival and success. So it's not just a one thing. Gardening by the moon is not a one-hit wonder. You know, as long as you do that, your garden is going to flourish. Now, there's a few combinations, and even over summertime, watering. So you know, you could do everything right by the lunar calendar, but if you forget to water your plants, well, they're just going to dry out. So yeah, gardening it's a combination event, I guess.